They are the stars of American short track racing, the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. But today, for the first time, they're going road racing on TNN. It was rainy earlier in the week, but today it is a magnificent afternoon in Topeka, Kansas, as NASCAR has come to the Heartland for the first ever Coca-Cola Shootout. Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold. Welcome to Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas for a very historic day for NASCAR racing. NASCAR has 3 touring late model sportsman divisions. One, the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. They make their home in the Southeast, the Mid-Atlantic states, throughout the Midwest. There's the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. They're running primarily in the Southwest and the state of California. The NASCAR Rebco Northwest Tour. They run throughout Oregon and Washington. For the first time ever, though, they're together here today and on a road course. Let's meet some of the top stars. Steve Christian is vying for rookie honors in his first full year in All Pro. He came back from 2 laps down to pass Toby Porter at Salem Speedway this season for his first NASCAR victory. Toby Porter is one of the bright young stars of NASCAR late model racing. Porter drives his own Chevrolet Monte Carlo and has already been to victory lane twice in '96. Rick Crawford comes to Topeka as the Slim Jim All Pro Series point leader. After winning the season opener at Volusia County Speedway, he has also recorded 2 second place and 2 fifth place finishes this year. Mike Culp is the Ironman of the Slim Jim All Pro Series, with Topeka being his 107th consecutive start. With a series title and 2 runner-up efforts in the last 2 seasons, Culp is always a force. And Ron Young has been a fixture in the series since 1993. He's led only 4 laps this year, but he's got wins at Martinsville and Pensacola.
And the man who has captured the pole certainly needs no introduction to TNN or NASCAR fans anywhere, with a brand new track record, none other than the K-Man. I'm Glenn Jarrett. Let's talk to Ken Schrader. Ken, great run, and not a bad way to spend a Saturday afternoon off.
No, we had to be here for the truck race tomorrow, so we had one of these cars sitting at home, need to bring it out.
Awfully fast. I got a feeling that these guys are going to be looking at the back of this Bud Red Chevy all day.
I don't know. I messed up my truck this morning all by myself. The guys did a good job getting it back together, but it's a long day. You just got to stay on track and see what happens.
Well, I think what will happen is, as I said, the field's going to be chasing Ken Schrader. He's awfully quick, Eli.
He is awfully quick, and joining me up here in the booth is Barry Dodson, longtime NASCAR crew chief. He has the Craftsman truck here tomorrow for Mike Bliss. And one of the big factors, Barry, is the fact that most of these drivers here, A, have never been on a road course, and B, don't even have the conventional road racing cars. They don't have the fancy transmissions and so on.
Well, this is not a very brutal road course. If there's any plus to that, this is more like running a Pocono, where you don't have a lot of right-handers. This is it's not a road course at all in our terms. The guys with the T10s, they're at an advantage, a disadvantage. The guys with the Jerichos have a big advantage. But the guys with the T10s, they're here and they're racing.
We've got a NASCAR Winston Cup man on the bush pole, Kenny Schrader. There are ASA racers in the field, Trans Am racers in the field, plus the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour and Northwest Tour. Let's go back to Glenn.
Well, there certainly is, Eli, and representing the All-Pro Series in fine form, I might say, is their second-place guy in the series, Toby Porter of Greenville, South Carolina. Toby, I talked to you before you went out and qualified. You really didn't know what to expect, but, man, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah, we did good. I surprised all of us, really. We had a pretty good qualifying run, qualified third, and Schrader there, he's been here a few times, I guess. He set the woods on fire, but we just going to try to get out here and ride and have a good finish.
Best of luck to you today. Now, starting on the outside pole from the Southwest Tour, John Pox. John is a veteran road racer. In fact, he's got a couple of victories. Man, what a great run you put on this field.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. The guys did a good job putting this car together. We put a new Grand Prix body on. I think that helped a lot. You know, it's a beautiful facility here. First time I've been to Kansas, and I would like to come back.
You got something for Schrader over there?
That's going to be a tough one. I hope I can just, get in behind him, follow him, learn something from him. I'm sure I can, and save it to the last 10 or so laps.
Best of luck to John today. Now back to you, Eli.
All right, Glenn, and not to forget the folks in the NASCAR Rebco Northwest Tour. There is that tour's top qualifier, Ken Bailey. He'll be going from the 21st spot right in the middle of the starting field today here at Heartland Park in Topeka. Right now on the track, final moments of qualifying for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Coca-Cola Shootout from Topeka. Coming up next. Stay with us.
By the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
That is a shot that you're very much used to seeing from Heartland Park. If indeed you're an NHRA Winston drag racing fan, you're looking from the runoff area back towards the starting line where so many of the great drag racers of our country have run over that fast quarter mile. But today we're using the entire 1.8-mile road course. And Barry Dodson, as you said earlier, it is kind of like a distended oval as opposed to a Sears Point or a Watkins Glen.
It's kind of like an oval with a few stoplights. Those being the right-handers, they're not very fast. You slow down, you give up what you can there and try to make the best of all the left-handers.
Interestingly, some of the drivers say there are more than 10 turns here. They say there are 11. They say there are 12. Some guys you'll ask, where were you when you had trouble? And they'll say, kind of over there. They're not quite sure the numbers of the turns, but that is a good look. And on the bottom of the screen, we are located at turn 10. That's where the drag racing tower is. And the main straightaway there, the bottom of your screen, some 2,400 feet long. That is the drag strip leading then eventually towards that twisting road course. Why don't we take a look at the starting lineup for you here today of this mixture and a good combination of drivers from many different disciplines in motorsports. Winston Cup, Kenny Schrader, Southwest Tour, John Pox sharing the front row. From the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series, Toby Porter and Rick Crawford. Crawford leads the points by 5 over Toby Porter. The next row, you've got Ron Peterson from the Southwest Tour, and from the American Speed Association, Bill Baird is there. Mike Cope, the Iron Man from the Slim Jim Tour, and Randy Rollman, who's run Trans Am in the SCCA ranks for the last number of years. He's here. A couple of Southwest, or at least Slim Jim drivers there. Ron Young, what a great story. The guy's led 4 laps all year. He's won 2 races. And Scott Sutherland from the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. Dirk Piz starts in the 11th spot. He'll be joined by Steve Christian out of the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. You've got an All Pro and a Southwest Tour driver next row, Wayne Anderson and Bob Lyon from the Southwest Tour. Roger Mears Jr., great family he comes from, and so too Nipper Alsop. That's Bill Alsop's son, longtime IndyCar star. Tammy Jo Kirk, the only young lady in the field, will be carrying some in-car cameras for us today. And Derek Gilchrist, both are from the Slim Jim All Pro Series. So too Dan Matthews and Don Sirkovich. The N is silent for those of you who'd like to get the exact pronunciation. Don Sirkovich, starting 21st and 22nd. Ken Bailey, we mentioned he is the top qualifier for the NASCAR Rebco Northwest Tour. And Clifford Strickland from the Slim Jim Series. A.J. Alsop, that's Nipper's brother, named after A.J. Foyt. And Bobby Russ Wood, both from the NASCAR Slim Jim Tour. Same for Ralph Burris Jr. and George Engel. There you see Keith White and Brad Payne as we continue our way down the starting field at the Coca-Cola Shootout. First time ever that the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series runs in concert with the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour and the NASCAR Rebco Northwest Series. Beautiful day today. Boy, they had some tough weather here earlier in the week. Wednesday, they had about 5 inches of rain here in Heartland Park. But I'll tell you something, as we heard from some of the drivers earlier, this is a beautifully manicured racing facility. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful. The rain's out here.
There you see the conditions of this day. 71. You know, when they were out here last year, when the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series ran here a year ago, it was about a month and a half later, temperature was like 106 degrees.
It is. The key today, they got to stay on the racetrack. It's very, very wet if you get off.
Exactly, and there you see there's about 10 to 12 gear shifts per lap, depending upon who you'll speak with. There are places where you can kind of short shift just a bit as we ride with the bright pink run machine for Tammy Jo Kirk, who, interestingly, is one of the drivers in this field who has run some road races. Actually, one that she could remember immediately. Tammy Jo drove a Porsche back at the Rolex 24 of Daytona back in 1994. Here we go. Green flag is in the air as we get set to go the first of 60 laps, 108 miles around the 1.8-mile Heartland Park Topeka road course. And Kenny Schrader is gone.
He is gone.
And that might be the story of the day.
That's been the rumor so far. He's been awful fast since he got here.
This is my first time to Heartland Park, and I made a few laps yesterday with Darrell Waltrip at the wheel of a rental car, a passenger car, and this because it is so flat and because this is really the shortest of 3 road course configurations that they have here. There are some turns that you can really miss. There were times where I was thinking we were going to go straight, and old DW yanked the car to the left. You're going to got to be on your toes here.
It's awful, Nance. He's been here. This is the 7th time Darrell's been here. He'll be a guy to watch tomorrow.
All right, he'll be driving in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the One Look 225, which we'll have for you here on TNN Motorsports. That is one of the pedestrian bridges that spans this road course, and now they come back through turn number 10 and onto the drag strip. Budweiser Chevrolet showing the way for Kenny Schrader. Second place, the blue car, that's Rick Crawford. He'll make the move to the inside, and he looks to grab the spot from John Cox, and does. So Ricky Crawford from Mobile, Alabama. He has run the occasional Southwest Tour event, Crawford has. The number 80, that's Toby Porter, who is just 5 points behind Crawford in the series point chase. He'll, under braking right there, get the better of John Cox. And that's one thing here, Barry. Road courses are still some elements of the same. If you can make that pass under braking, that's the way to do it.
You've got to do it. And what these guys are thinking right now, they got good, fresh tires. If you can make any move at all to gain a position, that's the key. Track position is very vital at this place. It's hard to pass.
There is John Cox beneath the bridge. And heading back towards the main straightaway now through turn number 10. There it is, that hard left-hander. And back onto the drag strip yet again. 2 laps of 60 complete now. Ken Schrader still showing the way. Number 4 is Ron Young right there battling for 6th with 57. And Mike Cope in the 57 grabs the spot there. Good acceleration beneath the bridge and onto the main straightaway. There you see Cope in the 57, just ahead of Ron Young in the 4. I don't know if we can fairly say that the drivers are to some degree psyched out, but there was serious bona fide concern in the garage area yesterday because nobody is used to doing something that they haven't done before, and the guys are saying, hey, I don't know if I'm going to take to this road racing or not.
They're a little bit intimidated, but they could not have come to a better place to try to get some experience on a road race course. Topeka's not that difficult.
That is again the battle for 6th. Young in the 4 tried to sneak, and you see the heavy tire and brake smoke from behind the 4. Back again at turn number 10.
Uh-oh, I thought we had a spin somewhere.
Lucky sure do, as one spin has Randy Rollman. He was the ASA star and Trans Am Series driver who qualified so very well. He will spin. He had a super qualifying effort. Rollman is a graduate of Stanford University, and he's run the Hooters Cup Series. We mentioned ASA. Has an industrial engineering degree, but kind of was off on his angles there.
Yeah, and he better get out of that mud and get going. He's going to get lapped. Uh-oh.
And there you see on the pit lane, too, problems for Wayne Anderson from a great racing family. His dad, Dick Anderson, was a hot shoe throughout Florida for so many years. And there you see with an off-track excursion what can happen. Let's establish the fact here, too, that even though all these cars look the same, there are some subtle differences. The Slim Jim All Pro Series cars weigh 2,800 pounds. The Southwest and Northwest Tour cars of NASCAR weigh 2,900 pounds. But they have designated this as an all-pro race, so everyone weighs 2,800. As again, you watch the 57 now, trying to work himself free. Mike Cope, he's got Bill Baird behind him in the 62, an ASA regular. The other variable among these series is that the Slim Jim Tour exclusively uses Hoosier tires. The Southwest Tour and the Northwest Tour use Goodyears, and the Northwest Series uses an economy Goodyear, which is an inch narrower than the Southwest Tour. But again, to consolidate everything today, everyone's using Hoosier tires. Glenn Jarrett's down on the pit lane checking out the John Pox car. He lost a number of spots early, Glenn.
Yeah, Eli, he was falling back through the field, and I was watching him. They're going to jack the car up, so he's got a transmission problem. He evidently has the car stuck in, it must be in second or third gear, because he definitely was falling back. I thought for a minute that he had a tire going down. No, that's exactly what they're doing. They're having to fix the transmission on the car. John is down and away. He didn't lose a lap, but I tell you what, he's going to need a caution flag to make up all the time he's lost.
Yeah, you likely won't lose a lap on a conventional stop here of any type. It takes you well over a minute to go around this 1.8-mile speedway, but Pox drops from 6th position all the way to the tail end of the field now as we work lap number 4. And here's the battle for the lead as Kenny Schrader tries to work himself to the outside with Ricky Crawford in the blue machine to his inside. The battle for the lead. Crawford, who has run the occasional Southwest Tour event, tries to out-drag Schrader on the drag strip. And he's got him.
Yeah, Kenny's letting him go. Uh-oh, I thought he was.
He comes right back. Good battle for the lead here, working lap number 5 of 60 here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. Really good battle. Very slight elevation change there. Nothing really significant. They do have, you see, those red and white rumble strips, and Crawford's got them. So a change for the lead here. Lap number 5 at Heartland Park. Ken Schrader showed the way laps 1 through 4. And for the moment, Rick Crawford shows the way now, having taken over the top spot. We are live at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. Glad you're with us on TNN Motorsports. Stick around. This is going to be a good one. We're coming right back. Stay with us. We are back, and you have been watching, as we have, a great battle for the lead. You had Schrader and Crawford swapping it around before we left, and here they are doing it again. Ken Schrader in the 56, Ricky Crawford in the 14, and he, of course, has got that rear end kind of swinging wildly.
Yeah, Kenny looks really smooth, and what Ricky doesn't want to do is use up his rear tires. They got a pretty good ways to go here, but we got a dogfight so far.
One of the right there, that particular spot coming through turn 10 and back onto the main straightaway is an area where a lot of these fellas are really losing ground. I've been watching a few of them here. They're just not getting through the gearbox particularly effectively.
Right, and Mike told me that our truck would spin all the way up until you got out of the area where the drag cars quit. It's something that they put down or a different type of pavement. So we're seeing a lot of cars get loose here. Ernie Cope especially, it seemed like he was backing up a while ago.
And the Mike that Barry is speaking of is Mike Bliss, who drives the NASCAR Craftsman truck, for which Barry is crew chief. And yeah, if you've not ever been to a track such as this where you utilize the drag strip as well, it is a dark black thick asphalt kind of running area, and then as soon as they get to the runoff area and the rest of the road course, it's that lighter color pavement that you see right there.
Yeah, what's happening here, that concrete's probably 50, 60 degrees cooler than that asphalt, and they're hitting the asphalt at an angle almost sideways, and it's just kicking them loose.
Ken Schrader in the 56 showing the lead. Rick Crawford from Mobile, Alabama, he's in the 2nd spot, has a win already this year. Meanwhile, Schrader not pulling away as much as I thought. You know, he has taught a lot of these fellas how to get around a road course. He was doing a good bit of that just yesterday.
You know, a lot of the off-road guys have never run a road course, and this is a really good one to run for your first road course. It's a pretty simple course. We've just run out here a bunch, and they're getting asked questions. They, you know, try to help anybody.
And Kenny is happy to be here. There he sees, again, Crawford filling his rear view. And I'll be very honest, not to doubt Rick Crawford's ability, because we've seen him run many a time and run very well. I didn't think anybody'd stay with Schrader.
No, but this kid's good. You know,
yeah.
The talk in the garage, he's getting some more experience, and they thought if anybody could get up there and run, maybe he could along with Pops, and he's really made a show out of it so far.
He has 30 top 5 finishes in his career, Rick Crawford does. Back beneath the bridge and again on towards the grandstands here at the drag strip. Kenny Schrader has, interestingly, never won in the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. One of the few NASCAR Touring Series he's never won in. Hasn't won in the Busch All-Star Tour on the dirt. Hasn't won in the Goodies Dash, nor has he ever won in the other couple of series that he has competed in. The NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour comes to mind immediately. Otherwise, he has run and won in every NASCAR Touring Series. There's the ongoing battle for the lead. Meanwhile, let's get an update on Wayne Anderson. Glenn, we saw him come down pit road, sans bumper in right front. What's the story?
Actually, sans the left front, Eli. In fact, he left the left front fender out there at the start-finish line. I saw it blow off right then. A lot of water, a lot of oil on the car. Wayne, what happened out there?
Well, we blew a head gasket in it, water mixed with the oil, and I tell you what, I can't say enough about Slim Jim coming out here to Topeka. What a facility. This place is beautiful. And I can't thank my sponsors enough, and I'm just tickled to be here, and it's a shame that we couldn't finish, because I feel like we had a good car. Maybe a top 10 finish today was in store for us.
Well, he certainly has the genes to prove it. As you said at the top of the show, his father, Dick Anderson, one of the greatest in America on short track racing.
Amen.
Short day for Wayne Anderson.
The king of Florida short tracks, and just about anywhere else he put his four wheels down.
Yeah.
Right now working lap number 10 of 60 here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. Things are tightening up near the front just a bit, but Ken Schrader continues to show the way. It is becoming a 5-team battle for the lead right now as we welcome you back to the road course. Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas, with Barry Dodson and Glenn Jarrett. I'm Eli Gold. That's Ken Schrader showing the way in front. Right behind him, the 14 is Rick Crawford. He held the lead at lap number 5. Now getting into the picture and starting to rumble fairly significantly, Toby Porter. He's in the 80. He has joined the fray. So too is Mike Cope in the 57 and Ron Young in the 4. So for the moment, it is those teams tied together. You see right there, all battling for position here as we work the 11th of 60 laps around the 1.8-mile road course. Oh, and there goes Crawford way wide. You saw the brake smoke, the tire smoke, and he never did go into the Tulies.
That's when you look in the mirror and you see the pressure. He and Kenny got away, and I think they both thought, okay, we're out here, we're going to race each other, take it easy. First thing you know, you look up, you got 3 guys right on your bumper.
Back onto the drag strip portion again. Mike Kelly has taken his car to the garage area, joining Wayne Anderson there. Kelly from the NASCAR Rebco Northwest Tour out of Kennewick, Washington. And there is the running order. You'll see how your favorites are doing. For a lot of folks, this is their first exposure to the NASCAR Slim Jim Series, plus the Featherlight Southwest and Rebco Northwest Tours. These guys are acquitting themselves, and ladies, got to mention with Tammy Jo in the field, Tammy Jo Kirk, they are all acquitting themselves pretty darn well.
They're doing great. They know the key is to stay on the track. They've seen some trucks get off, and you got to go get them. They've seen cars get off. Some of these guys have been off, and you had to go get them.
Good battle for third now. Cope in the 57. He's got it in front of Toby Porter. Now, Cope, who started 7th, is up to 3rd. So he's making some good headway. Ron Young, who started 9th, is now running in 5th. You know, it's like anything else. When you're a professional at racing, period, the more... Look at Schrader. Schrader was, as he'll tell you, one of the worst road racers on earth. And all of a sudden, he's darn good. Not only here, but in Winston Cup, what have you. The more you do anything, that seat time...
The seat time, nothing replaces seat time in good equipment especially.
I remember asking Kenny Schrader once, and there he is. I asked him in Daytona during one of the runnings of the Rolex 24, the 24 hours of Daytona he was running. It was the dead of night, and of course the race is going on, and I saw Kenny in the pits. I said, so what are you learning? And he said, well, one thing I've learned is never to key my radio and talk to the crew while I'm on a road course. He said, nobody should hear what I'm doing to this transmission. But now with the Jerichos and all, it really has made him and many others darn good road racers. Toby Porter right there. Now, this is a points race for the Slim Jim All Pro Series, too. That's the other factor. Let's remember again that Crawford's point lead is only 5 over Porter. While for the other 2 tours, the Featherlight Southwest Tour and the Rebco Northwest, this is a non-point event. There's Crawford. Oh, and one spin, that is Roger Mears Jr. Roger Mears Jr. from the Featherlight Southwest Tour. with a little agricultural racing right there. And yes, he is from the famous Racing Mears family. Only his 4th time, though, in a tour car such as this.
That's a good stepping stone for him. He did good not to get off.
And he'll be heading towards the pit lane.
He's got some type of problem there, I'm sure.
Very personable young man. We had a chance to chat yesterday. He said he's just looking forward to the opportunity to make some laps. There again, the leader, Kenny Schrader.
Starting to work traffic.
He'll draw alongside Bobby Russ Wood in his Oldsmobile, number 59. Puts him a lap down. Following behind Scott Sutherland, that's the Chevy Monte Carlo, number 23, from Jefferson, Georgia. Home at one of those great short tracks down south. The track has had more names than you can shake a stick at, but old Jeffco's a pretty good racetrack.
Yeah, excellent place.
Working lap number 15 of 60. And if you see those grandstands and you're saying, heck, there aren't a whole lot of folks here, don't let that deceive you. If you're typical of a road race, we got folks sitting up on the berms, on the hills. They're overlooking this track everywhere as Roger Mears Jr. is on the pit lane. Crew checks it over, and he'll limp himself back onto the racetrack. Or will he?
To jack the rear end up like that, he thinks he's got some kind of rear end problem, maybe a broken axle or a locker.
Glenn, what are they saying down there?
Well, Eli, I didn't have to talk to him as they I saw him working with the rear end there, and I thought there must be some kind of gearing problem. As they let the car down and he started to take off, it sounded to me like the rear axle snapped, or the differential snapped in it.
That's Steve
so he's definitely got a problem. He has brought it in behind pit road, but I think he's going to be here a while because even through my headset, I heard something snap. Also, you're taking a look at the zero car. That's Stephen Christian. He is a rookie in this series, and what a rookie he is. He already has 2 victories this year. Stephen is from Sugar Hill, Georgia. That's a little north of Atlanta. I happen to know that only because they told me. But Stephen's doing a great job. He's up to, I believe, about 7th right now in the running. This kid is going to go places. I talked to him yesterday. Very, very impressed with his manner, with his ability to talk to the camera, and particularly his ability on the racetrack. I like this young man.
He is the leading Port City rookie candidate. Port City sponsoring the Rookie of the Year battle for the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. 17 laps are complete, as the leader is Ken Schrader, but it's Tammy Jo Kirk who is carrying our cameras around Heartland Park, Topeka, as we continue with more on TNN Motorsports. Welcome back to Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas, riding with the 16th place runner, Tammy Jo Kirk. Tammy Jo from Dalton, Georgia. You see her position right now as she picks up a spot moments ago. She does not have one of those 4-speed Jericho transmissions. She said, hey, very honestly, I just can't justify the price tag for a one-time only road race like this.
She's doing a great job. She's some type of talent. If you ever wanted to send a gal for groceries, she'd be the one.
Now, as the caution flag flies here at Heartland Park in Topeka, there is a look at the running order for you. Those 5 teams have been tied together tightly all afternoon long. And now on down the list, Bob Lyon, number 64 right there. He has got a great story. We'll talk more about him as we continue. And there you see is the caution flying here. When you get off the course, as we saw, and that's one of the reasons we're having the caution too, is that you've got so many teams going off the course. We've had a lot of rain here, a lot of dirt and debris coming up, and that can help the problem that we saw a short while ago, Glenn, when you talk about the broken axle. Roger Mears had gone off course in turn 9 and 10, and that might have contributed to his problem.
Oh, absolutely, Eli. I don't think there's any doubt about it. You can see the black strip of rubber that Roger left when he tried to leave his pits. The right rear tire was spinning profusely. Left rear tire wasn't even turning at all. And that's what happened when the axle broke. They have the car jacked up now, working on it. Let's get a word with Roger here. And Roger, we're speculating that when you got off the track over there, it probably caused the problems that you have now.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said we're speculating that when you got off track over there, it probably caused the problems that you're experiencing now.
Actually, the car's running great. Went over there and broke a drive plate, made the car go out of control, and I went off the track. And there's a box of neutrals. We're only having one-wheel driving, and we're out there trying to find one right now. We don't have a spare, and hopefully they get it back and we get out there and run and play around a little bit.
Well, I hope so. Best of luck to you. Roger Mears, another one of those famous racing families.
We have 20 laps complete here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. 20 of 60 in the books as Ken Schrader continues to show the way.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Coca-Cola Shootout on TNN is brought to you by the Smooth Operator Wet-Dry Razor from Panasonic. Wetter is better. And by Peerless Faucet. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
There's some of the crowd we told you about, seated around the hills and dales of Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. Ken Schrader took them all down the pit lane. Most of the lead teams have been in front of Glenn Jarrett already. Glenn?
Eli down at this end, which I'm all the way down at the far end of pit road going into turn 1, just shy of the start-finish line. Schrader came in and changed 4 tires, as did Toby Porter, as did Rick Crawford. John Fox, also who had the problem earlier, did not lose a lap. This was the break he was looking for, closed him back up to the lead pack. I saw Mike Cope come down the pit road and beat Schrader and all the rest of the guys out. I got a feeling he didn't change tires. Now, the tire rules here today are that they can have 8 tires total, the 4 they started on plus 4 they can put on. Well, we've only run about a third of the race, and they've already put the new tires on. But if they want to, they can come back in, put those tires back on the car. They just can't use any new ones.
What will happen, Barry Dodson, if they go a half hour now and then go back to the tires that have already been hot, they've been used? What will that half hour do, if anything?
They would probably be better off to stay on the tires they're on. Let's say we're a third of the way now. Let's say we go to lap 40. The tires that you've got on, after these tires have been cycled, they don't want to hook up as good. They've been hot, they've been cold, and they've only got, one more set to choose from. That might not be a bad move for that car.
Well, I'll find out together as the field is about to get the 1-to-go signal here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. Let's take a look at some of the pit stops of moments ago since you were away hearing from some of our sponsors. Here's typical pit road.
Typical pit road.
There comes Cope in the 57. That's what Glenn talked about. First man out in a hurry, and you'd right to be speculating it was fuel only, or maybe just 2 tires. There's Schrader in the Budweiser machine and all the rest of the field now as they come off the pit lane and back onto the racetrack. Kenny Schrader, the race leader. Then Rick Crawford led from lap number 5 to 6. Schrader took the lead again and then has led since. We're now at lap number 22. There's a good look at some of the other competitors here today. Brad Payne from the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series, number 22. 45 miles an hour is the pace speed here today. And if you're not familiar with the Slim Jim Tour, same as tomorrow for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, this race will definitely end under green flag conditions. These 2 series that are running here this weekend do not have a caution flag finish. It'll be a green, white, and checker at the end. And there's the pace truck that they are using here this weekend, bringing this field around. Mike Simons, who is the pace truck driver for the Truck Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck, is handling it as well here today. Hey, coming up, as soon as we move aside, you'll be seeing Inside NASCAR, and then at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, Mike Joy and Buddy Baker, Randy Pemberton will be at South Boston Speedway in Virginia for the Winston Motorsports 300, the NASCAR Busch Series going racing. Then we'll be back here live tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern. Race Talk, we've got Rich Bickle and Brian Reffner joining us. And then tomorrow, Larry McReynolds joins our family for the Lund Look 225, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It's all coming up. A busy live motorsports weekend here on TNN Motorsports. Green flag is in the air, going back to work. It'll be lap 23 as they get the restart.
Yeah, Larry's coming in, and I'm going back to work.
That's right. Larry will be crew chiefing for Mike Bliss. Larry McReynolds today is at Michigan International Speedway, where he and Ernie Irvin are testing. There's Tammy Jo Kirk carrying our onboard cameras, and there's Schrader going inside, outside, all around the town to get free of some of the race traffic. Single file restart, as you saw. That'll be the case all day long today as we go back to pit road. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we're down in Mike Cope's pits, and this is his crew chief, David Moyer. First of all, David, I got to apologize to you. I speculated you guys only put in fuel, but you changed 4 tires. What a great stop.
Appreciate that. Everybody here on the Penrose crew has been working hard. Had a long year, and the pit stops is the only thing that's been real consistent for us, so we're real happy with how things went.
How does Mike like the car so far? How does it feel?
So far, it's doing real good. We missed almost all the practice yesterday because of a shifter problem, and he's just out there trying to get a feel for it, and things are going real well for us.
I'll say they are. Congratulations again on a fine pit stop. And, guys, that's pretty good to beat Schrader's team because that's the team that he uses on his ARCA car, his Busch car, just about every car except his Winston Cup car. Good pit stop.
Right now, showing the way is that white machine. That is Nipper Alsop, a young man who has run well and tracks throughout the Northeast. Ron Young is just spun, coming out of turn number 10 here in front of the main drag strip tower, running in 16th, and he'll bottle up a host of folks behind him, but everybody gets on the binders in a hurry. Ron Peterson right there coming through our picture right now. He really got on those brakes in a hurry, but Nipper Alsop Jr. showing the way upon this restart. Now spinning off the course, that is John Pox, who has himself some problems. The veteran from Albuquerque, New Mexico, running in 7th spot. And he has had himself a lengthy day after the transmission problems of earlier. There you see the battle for the lead now as Cope gets around Schrader, both of whom have gotten around Alsop. So it is Cope, Schrader, and Alsop first, second, and third now, working lap number 24 here at Heartland Park. And I'll tell you, this is my first time here. This is a darn competitive road course.
It's a lot of fun. I was up here at an ASA race one time, and it's just, they're gone for a minute and they're back, and you don't know what to expect when they come back. But, where we're sitting, you hear a thundering herd, and here comes the field.
Here comes a good scramble again for the lead. Schrader in the 56 goes inside of Cope. So Kenny Schrader back at the head of the field again.
We got to watch these guys now. They got a long way to go on their last set of tires. You got to protect them and take care of them.
There's the running order. The 83 haven't talked much about Derek Gilchrist, but he's right there in the mix right now upon the completion of the pit stops from moments ago. Here's what happened to John Pox. We told you he had a problem off track, and everybody going straight, and he'll make the right. And there's absolutely no traction on the grass whatsoever. And while he was sitting there, you saw one of the SCCA track workers also there scurrying. That's where Ron Peterson came in. And then Peterson was the same guy who put the brakes on behind Ron Young in turn number 10 earlier. Glenn, it's not been Pox's kind of day, has it been?
No, it certainly hasn't, Eli. And I checked with his pit crew and found out that something in the right front suspension broke. That's what caused him to get off course. So they've got a problem. They're waiting on him to get back here if he can, but they definitely have a problem. Something broke on the car.
Again, the battle for the lead. Mike Cope only led 8 laps last year. Now has led 9 here today. There's Tammy Jo Kirk. She's got a problem. And that car, I wouldn't even think is under power at all.
She's just rolling in, trying to get out of the way right now.
And I believe I said Mike Cope had only led 8 laps last year. I obviously meant this year after a fine year last year. And today he has led 9 different times. So that's what's been going on with him. And that is the scramble for the lead again with Cope showing the way. Lap number 26 on the board of 60. Back onto the drag strip yet again. Cope's a good one. Of course, has gotten a lot of training over the years from Bobby Labonte. I dare say Terry Labonte has helped out in the mix as well. Crawford is that light blue car, 14, still running in third. And remember, he led earlier here today.
Couple spots since he got tires.
Alsop back in the 4th position. And running in 5th spot right now, showing Toby Porter. As again, the same names continue to work themselves towards the front. There is Nipper Alsop. Bill Alsop Jr. They call him Nipper, N-I-P-P-E-R. Oh, and one car with problems right now, Bobby Russ Wood. He spins, driver from the Slim Jim All Pro Series, but he's from the Midwest. He's a Missouri native, out of the Show Me State, the neighboring state to where we are here in Kansas. And we'll take a look at what happened to him.
Okay, here he goes.
Here's what happened with his problems. Up, the rear kicks out on him. Wonder if he had some help.
He got some help, yeah.
Yeah, got a little help.
But the guy was nice. He kept him on the pavement.
Yeah, might as well. Again, there are a number of different outlet roads here, a number of different chicanes that are not being used by the NASCAR contingent here this weekend, but are when IMSA runs here and other types of road racers. So the lead is still in the hands of Mike Cope. Schrader is second, Rick Crawford third. We are working ourselves to the halfway point here at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. Welcome back to Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. Hope you can join us at the TNN Salute to Motorsports at Opryland. It's coming up June 26th through 30th. And for more information, call those numbers you see on the screen. That phone line open Monday through Friday. TNN Salute to Motorsports. Your favorite NASCAR drivers will be on hand. All sorts of good times. We were there last year. It was a huge success. So check it out, June 26th through 30th at Opryland, USA. That's the battle for the lead. A little sheet metal flapping there on the Crawford machine, but where is Ken Schrader? Glenn Jarrett, what's the story? You hearing anything?
Well, he just drove by me behind pit wall. I asked Tim Cahoot if he'd said anything. He said Schrader just simply came on back on the radio and said, man, I goofed. That's it. I just messed up. So when he came by me, a lot of damage to the left front of the car. We're going to chase him down. We'll catch up with him. He's about 100 yards ahead of us now, but in his condition, he can't go very fast, very far.
Let's take a look and see if we can tell exactly what might have happened to Schrader out there on the course as you watch a couple of the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro regulars now battling for the lead. There's Schrader in the 56. Let's see if we can tell what happened. That's beneath the bridge leading to the main straightaway. Going for the lead. Heavy braking, and here's the continuation of that same sequence now. Trying to get around Copeland gives him room.
Yeah, it's a hard place to try to run
fast.
Nah.
Goes off the track, into the grass, into the wall, and just a little bit too hard into that corner.
Yeah, and the grass is picking you up when you know it's still wet from yesterday. No chance there.
So Kenny's in the garage with Wayne Anderson, Mike Kelly, Tammy Jo Kirk has parked her machine, Randy Rollman, Steve Christian now back there, the Zero machine with Kenny Schrader. So 6 retirees. And how about that? Those of you who thought Schrader was with a walk here and gone, we've got ourselves a whole new day. And here comes Porter, the black machine there in third. He's starting to smell those front two now and getting close.
I'm sure they've told him Schrader's out. And, you know, Kenny never got away from these guys. Big surprise. A lot of talent here today.
We mentioned that Steve Christian had gone behind the wall, the man who is leading the Port City Rookie of the Year battle. A drive shaft problem has taken him from the race today. So all sorts of problems can crop up on a road course. And back onto the main straightaway again. Working lap number 32 of 60.
Looks like Rick Crawford's got a side wing there.
Doesn't it, though? The start-finish line, by the way, we never did establish it. They have moved it from where it used to be here. They moved it from the middle of the drag strip down to the end of the strip. Here come the leaders onto the drag strip now, and as they work the quarter mile where John Force might deploy his parachute, that's where things used to stop. But now the start-finish line is all the way down to roughly where the teams are right now before they go off there into turn number 1. And I guess it's kind of like a Talladega deal where you have your start-finish line down near turn number 1. That extra few hundred yards might be a story here later.
Makes it good for turn 1.
Amen, it does. Let's go to the garage. Glenn's caught up with Kenny Schrader.
Well, you see the Budweiser Chevrolet sitting here, and I want to tell you how Ken Schrader is thinking. Even though he's a little mad at himself, he crashed his car. He came in, took the hood off, looked at the damage. When he found out he was going to be on camera, he put the Budweiser hood up here. Ken, what happened?
You already know I'm mad at myself. You could tell I just screwed up, huh? We were out there. We were having fun. I mean, going back and forth, and I had a little run. I thought, well, I'll just see if I can smoke around on the outside in this deal. I know it's not maybe one of my better moves, but, you know, I got up in the grass. Not a good day. I screwed up.
Well, you had a little trouble in the truck this morning. Is it okay for tomorrow's race?
Yeah, truck's fine. We went out and made a very conservative qualifying lap. I think we wound up 6th, so we're good.
Better luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's the story from Ken Schrader. At least he's got a sense of humor.
And a very honest man today. Screwed up. What are you going to do? We're watching the battle for 5th. It's been a good one. The 83 is Derek Gilchrist. He's from the Slim Jim All Pro Series. The 64, Bob Lyon from the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. And 62, Bill Baird, who makes his name in the ASA. And you see those dots, what look like dots to you on the middle of that yellow car? You look at the hood of that 64. Those are handprints from youngsters at the Ronald McDonald House. You see them coming right at you? Those are handprints from kids at the Ronald McDonald House in Los Angeles. Bob Lyon appeared there on Easter Sunday and got the kids to put their handprints on the hood of the car, and he's carrying that around as a bit of a tribute to those youngsters, and I bet you they had a good time doing all that. You know, kids and finger paint and all.
That's great.
It really is. He said yesterday he hopes to go truck racing when the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series goes to near his home on the West Coast, Sears Point, Bakersfield, California, Phoenix, the new track in Las Vegas. Bob Lyon hopes to have a truck ready to go in time for that event. Nice fellow, though. Nice team. I had a chance to chat yesterday, and they're good folks and running well right now in 6th position as we work lap 35 of the 60 here this afternoon. Just 25 to go. There's the 62 Baird, the ASA racer, trying to come out of turn 10 and get a jump on everybody here on the drag strip. Meanwhile, at the front, still Cope and Crawford showing the way as we are live at Heartland Park, Topeka. We're coming right back. We are back with you live at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas, with Barry Dodson and Glenn Jarrett. I'm Eli Gold. That is the battle for the lead. Mike Cope in the 57, the Penrose team. And the 14, that's Rick Crawford in the Circle Bar Motel Ford Thunderbird from Mobile, Alabama, as they continue around this racetrack as the top two and have pulled away now fairly comfortably from the third place runner, Toby Porter. In the garage area, and that might be the story thus far, attrition. Kenny Schrader, who most felt would be a hands-on winner here today, he's done for the afternoon. Randy Ruhlman is gone. Tammy Jo Kirk, Mike Kelly, Wayne Anderson, and Steve Christian with a drive shaft failure, knocking out the man who folks figure might well end up with the Port City Rookie of the Year honors come season's end. Glenn Jarrett, I believe, is spending time in the garage area and has an update. Glenn?
Boy, Eli, I'm spending a lot of time down here watching a lot of guys do a lot of work. You can see they're still working on Steve Christian's car, trying to get him back out there. Steve's sitting here waiting patiently. Boy, you had an awfully good run going there for a while. Looks like you've really taken to this racetrack, Steve.
Well, we kind of got into better rhythm the more we ran there. The car was a little tight getting into one, but otherwise the car was real good. I was just trying to save the car and not abuse the transmission, rear end, that type of thing, and then that's what took us out. So we're going to get this drive shaft back in it and get back out and save some points.
Well, that's what they're interested in now. After this happens this early in the race, that's about all you can do. This young man, as I said, is very impressive. I think he's got a bright future in NASCAR racing. Remember that name, Stephen Christian.
Looking at 9th, 10th, and 11th place right now. You've got A.J. Alsup in that white machine, sandwiched in the middle of the scramble. Dan Matthews is the first car in the 9th spot. You got A.J. Alsup running in the 10th position, and Dirk Piz, who started up near the front of the field, has backslid just a bit. There he is in the 99. He's the Denver, Colorado racer in his Chevrolet Monte Carlo. They're working for 9th, 10th, and 11th position right now at lap number 38 of 60. Not nearly the off-track excursions that I expected to see from teams that had never run road races before, Barry.
I think they all know the troubles out there.
Yeah.
And so many people got off yesterday, like I said earlier, trucks and cars. They know these guys are on TV. They love it here. It's a beautiful facility. They want to have a good showing, and they're doing that.
Right now, as the field heads towards lap number 39, we will tell you that at the head of the field, there's no change in the running order. Still Culp and Crawford scrambling for the top spot, but everybody else is tightening it up just a bit. Highway transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey, featuring Winnebago Motorhomes. Call 1-800-988-4884 and find out why Winnebago is the choice of champions. We are live at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas, and here comes the state of Mississippi, or at least the Clifford Strickland car from Petal, Mississippi, sponsored by the Mississippi Department of Tourism. They got a real interesting deal going there in the Magnolia State. There's a number that the race fans can call. You see it, 1-800-WARMEST. And judging by the response that the fans give the tourism department, they will decide if they can continue the sponsorship of Clifford Strickland. They've also got a free package about the state of Mississippi that is available just by calling that 1-800-WARMEST. But it's a very interesting sponsorship idea. State of Mississippi getting together. I met the folks from the Topeka Area Chamber of Commerce yesterday. They are trying to do so much to make sure that this is a race-friendly community. More and more people are getting involved. Caution is on the speedway now for some debris and some oil on the speedway. Full course yellow being displayed now here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. So the field now will be slowing on down. Here come the race leaders. Culp in that red and yellow machine, number 57. Rick Crawford right behind. All right now, Barry, let's talk strategy. We have gone 20 laps. They changed tires. We've now gone another 21 laps. We're 18 from the finish. Do you keep these Hoosiers on, or do you go back to the originals? What do you do?
You can't go back to the originals. The reason being, even if they were fresher than, let's say, what's on the car.
In numbers of miles.
You've got to protect your track position.
Exactly.
And that's the key to winning here. Crawford had closed it up right before the caution there. We got a heck of a race going on here.
So we are under caution here at Heartland Park in Topeka as the pace truck has the field in tow. Culp and Crawford. Porter next in line. It's going to be a heck of a battle to the finish. Hope you're online this afternoon. Great way to enjoy the race on TNN and get all the scoring and all the latest news. NASCAR Online before, during, and after the races. There is the computer address for those of you who are computer literate. It is a 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass. NASCAR Online. A lot of interesting information. You might want to check it out at www.nascar.com. All right, who's running where? Mike Culp showing the way. Rick Crawford second. Toby Porter third. Nipper Alsop Jr. He's in fourth spot. Bob Lyon is running in the fifth position from ASA. Bill Baird going sixth. Ron Young runs in the seventh spot. Derek Gilchrist is next in line. Then Dan Matthews and A.J. Alsop. Pretty good afternoon for the Alsop family right there in the top 10. 43, as you see, of 60 laps complete. Take a look at the number 99 right there. Dirk Piz, P-I-Z is the last name, from Denver, Colorado. The sponsor, if you can read it there on the hood of the car, and you see it says sponsors welcome, but on the hood of the car it says Grandma's Frozen Noodles Chevrolet.
Oh, man.
What a great, great sponsor.
Knowing I was in Denver last week, if I had only known Grandma's Frozen Noodles Chevrolet.
I remember days, though, when you and Richard Childress would have put Grandma's Frozen Noodles on the car and been happy.
We would have taken anything Grandma had.
Oh, man, yeah, he does have a sponsor wanted sign right there on the hood. Grandma's Frozen Noodles Chevrolet. And old Grandma's happy because Dirk's running in 10th spot right now and doing a fine job.
Is that great or what?
Yeah. Hey, that just proves that out there, you know, you beat the bushes. There's money to be found. It's not easy. That's got to be the toughest thing. I know you get questions all the time, Barry. How do you find sponsor? How do you find sponsor? That's got to be the toughest thing to do in this business.
Well, and that's where we take our hat off to you guys.
17 laps is what Mike Culp has led thus far today, as the fans enjoy the first sunny day they've had here in Topeka in a while. But it's a beauty. Glad you're with us. We have just gone back to green here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. TNN Motorsports with live coverage of the Coca-Cola Shootout. First time the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series has run in concert with the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour and the Repco Northwest Tour. And all of those series have been well represented in the running order here this afternoon. As here comes Cope and Crawford, a couple of Slim Jim All Pro Series regulars. Toby Porter behind them, running in third. E2 from the Slim Jim Series, and off the course goes Derek Gilchrist. He was running in sixth before. A tough break for Gilchrist, who had a super race going here this afternoon.
They're tightening their gloves up right now. You're going to see what they got. There's not that much racing left, and it's time to go get it. Everybody's on equal tires.
It'll be lap number 46 as they come towards start-finish this time. 46 of 60. And this track measures just 1.8 miles. Here goes Crawford in the 14.
Yeah.
Couldn't get close enough. It's a left-hand turn, and I thought he felt maybe under braking. He could have gotten there to the inside of Cope. Didn't work.
Yeah, he needs to stay on, and he's thinking about that. You'll see him try again, I'm sure. Running out of time.
Fourth place, Bob Lyon in the 64. Right there in the picture as well. Baird in the 62. They were nose to tail for the lead earlier. That's when Ken Schrader was involved. If you're just joining us, Schrader, who had the pole speed by a goodly distance, went off course in turn 10, impacted the wall, and his afternoon was done. Field now beneath that Featherlight trailer bridge. And back to turn number 10 in the main straightaway again. Mike Cope continues to show the way. And, you know, in preparation for today's race, Mike Cope, like a lot of fellas, got a little advice from some of his friends, knowing he was going to run a road course.
I took the Terry Labonte course, the Bobby Labonte course, all verbal, no less, and then went and talked to Butch Miller a little bit. And they all basically give me all their insights and then said, you're basically on your own. So that's where we're at.
And, you know, Butch Miller, who drives the Rebestos truck in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, said to me yesterday, you know, if I had my ultimate, absolute, could only do one thing in life choice, he said, as great as this series has been to me, but I want to go road racing for real. He said, forever. Trans Am race. And he goes, call me a Trans Am wannabe or something. He goes, I just love road racing. He used to have the track record here until Schrader broke it in qualifying this morning.
They all, it's a break in what they normally do, and they all love road racing. I remember back in the Blue Max days, Rusty drove for us, and he said, you know, I'm terrible on the road course. What are we doing? And I said, just act like you're running from the cops. And, and there's none better right now. We got a race up front.
We got a scramble right now. Again, it's all Slim Jim All Pro Series. Those three drivers have made their way to the front. Cope, Crawford, and Toby Porter right behind them. The series point lead is Crawford by 5 over Porter. And this is, we'll remind you again, this is a point race for the Slim Jim Series, where it is not for all the other series, the Featherlight Southwest Tour and Northwest Tour. This was just an appearance if you so desired, and since everybody couldn't come, it was not a point race for those drivers. 6th place in points is where Cope finds himself, but leading the event, Glenn, and you know, that's what he's got to do. He's got to win. He's got to run consistently to scramble to the top spot again.
Well, absolutely. And if there's anybody that can do it, it is Mike Cope, Eli. He is one of the best competitors on this circuit that I have ever seen. But let's remember one thing. It was that fabulous pit stop led by his crew, led by crew chief David Moyer, that put him out front. Ever since they put him there, he took the lead from Nipper Alsop right after the green flag. Nobody has taken that lead back from him. So he owes a big debt to his pit crew. They're just hoping he can hang on. He's doing a great job.
That's what we're talking about, track position. It's very, very difficult to pass here. You can pass down here where we're sitting, coming up on the drag strip. You've got to have a good motor, and you can pass getting into one. Other than that, it's a lot of follow the leader, especially when they're being so wet off. You can't take a chance. There's about 50 counts of drag hanging off the side of the 14 there, but he doesn't care right now, and I don't think it's affecting him.
No, not a factor here, you wouldn't think.
Good race.
It's a dandy. The Penrose Meat Snacks Chevrolet for Colt. The Circle Bar Motel and RV Park Ford for Rick Crawford. Right behind them, Toby Porter.
I don't think Toby's done yet.
Nope. His Chevrolet out of Greenville, South Carolina.
This could get big here a little bit.
This is good. Back out of turn 10 to the drag strip. Field working now towards lap number 50. We're closing in on 10 laps, a bit over that distance mileage-wise. It is 1.8 miles around. Oh, and problems in the corner as the 26 of Keith White spins with the 17 of George Engel. Engel from the Slim Jim All Pro Series. White likewise. And they spin in the corner. They were running back in 16th position. Engel was in 16th, the man you're looking at right now.
Let's see if it stays green. This could be interesting.
Well, right now the corner workers wait. Oh, and there goes Crawford around. Rick Crawford off the track into the grass. Full course yellow. Has it not come out? Now it will. They will bring out the yellow for George Engel's car as Crawford went around and lost second spot.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if a caution was going to come out. Not that many laps left. He was going to try to get up front right there.
And the caution flies in the hands of Rick Monroe from Pequot, Ohio. He is the man who flags the Slim Jim All Pro Series events. He's the regular flag man at Winchester Speedway in Indiana. Let's take a look at the two spins and show you what has transpired here. First was that battle back at 16th and 17th spot when you had Engel get together with the Keith White machine. And actually, it was Engel.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, White was just trailing behind and found the track blocked. Then, when Engel went sideways and they put the full course caution, there goes Crawford wanting the lead. And Toby never touched him from behind.
No, he didn't. He wanted the lead. I'm sure the spotter said there are a couple cars spun, and he's trying to get the lead right then, hoping the caution would stay out longer.
Here comes Ron Young in the 4. He was running in 5th at the time. He goes around and grabs a spot. There goes Baird going by. Oh, you got a feel for Crawford.
Yeah, you do.
What do you have to say to a driver now on the radio, Barry? You know the guy's ticked. I mean, he's ticked. There you see the running order. How do you calm down Crawford, who was battling for the lead and finally finds himself in 6th, and now who knows what condition those Hoosier tires are in, flat-spotted, what have you? How do you calm a man down?
You tell him, you know, you've done a great job all day. It seems big right now. Tomorrow it's all over. You've got a good enough car to get back by those two that got by you, and who knows what's going to happen up front. Now let's calm back down and go racing here.
Within shouting distance of the finish of today's running of the Coca-Cola Shootout, $93,000 purse. Don't forget, we'll be here tomorrow as well for the Lund Look 225. Next stop for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here on TNN Motorsports. That is coming up tomorrow afternoon. Busy day tomorrow as always. Rick Benjamin will be along with race day, so hope we can keep it right here on TNN Motorsports. Taking a look at the point standings, for those of you who may not be familiar, coming into today's event, there's that 5-point differential between Crawford and Porter. Ron Young has won a couple of events. Steve Christian's already in the garage area. Scott Sutherland, the number 23 Chevrolet, he found himself running near the leaders earlier, is now back in 19th spot. And there you see Cope. We told you earlier he was in 6th. Anderson's in the garage area. Tammy Jo Kirk is in the garage area. 12 teams are on the lead lap here as the attrition rate continues to grow. Mike Cope shows the way. We're coming right back as the field gets the 1-to-go signal. The finish of the Coca-Cola Shootout is just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody, live at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. A beautiful Heartland afternoon. I'm Eli Gold with Barry Dodson, Glenn Jarrett. Tomorrow, Larry McReynolds will be joining us for coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. coming up in just a bit. The NASCAR Busch Series from South Boston Speedway in Virginia. We've got race talk for you tonight. Lots of racing going on here on TNN Motorsports today. As you see now, the team's getting set for the restart. If folks are new to NASCAR, what are they doing when they shake those cars back and forth, Barry?
They're getting all the buildup off. They've run, they slowed down. These tires are hot. They pick up any kind of debris they run over, and they feel it vibrate, and they're cleaning them off, making sure they don't have a flat so they can get a good restart. If you don't, you'll just spin a lot like what you saw Jeff Gordon go through at Sears Point.
And again, it is a Hoosier tire field today, even though the Featherlight Southwest Tour and the Repco Northwest Tour of NASCAR normally use Goodyears. Even those two series don't use the same kind of Goodyear tires. So everybody's on the Hoosiers today. Goodyear's brought a great tire here for tomorrow for the truck race.
We're happy. We are tickled to death. Our Eagles this year have been excellent everywhere we've been. It's not something discarded from the past. We've been able to run the same tire the Cup cars have run, and it's a tremendous, tremendous help to us.
We are not going green this time. As you can clearly see, the lights remain on the pace truck here. And we are going to continue under the yellow here this afternoon. Again, a reminder about what's upcoming this weekend here on TNN Motorsports. Inside NASCAR will follow us. And then at 5 o'clock Eastern time today, Mike Joy and the crew at South Boston standing by with the NASCAR Busch Series, the Winston Motorsports 300. Then we'll come back here live tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Rich Bickle and Brian Reffner will be joining us to take your phone calls on Race Talk. Both men qualified for tomorrow's Lund Look 225, and that race you'll be seeing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you're curious what Lund Look is, if we can get a look at the pace truck here, you'll see what the Lund Look is. Lund Accessory Company is the company that adds all of that neat-looking aerodynamic pieces on a conventional truck. And when you get all those pieces on, it is the Lund Look. And they are sponsoring the 225-kilometer event here tomorrow. 1 to go now, the signal to the teams. Let's go back to pit road, Glenn.
Well, we've moved down to Mike Cope's pit, where we've actually been for the last several laps. His crew chief, David Moyer, sitting here taking it easy right now. But like all racers, even though you're leading this thing under caution, David, you'd rather be under green right now.
Oh, for sure. That's for sure. We'd like to get this thing over as fast as we can. We've kind of had a bad year, and we're hoping, we can pull one off for the Penrose Meat Snacks people. So we're crossing our fingers and hope we can pull this thing off.
A couple of guys have taken shots at him, but nobody's able to get by him. And then Crawford spun off the course. You think you got him covered?
Well, I hope so. Mike's doing a real good job. He's just trying to stay calm, run his own deal and be as smooth as he can. And these other guys are just driving the wheels off of it, trying to get by. So we're hoping, our strategy's going to work out for us.
Well, so far it has. The field is now coming down the front stretch. We'll take the green flag momentarily.
And Mike Cope, at the end of his run with Bobby Labonte Racing, bought all of Labonte's equipment at the end of last season and has made it his own here with the Penrose Meat Snack sponsorship for 96. Green flag in the air as the field heads back with 6 laps to go. 6 to settle it. And there they are, the top 2 guys in points.
Glenn just thought that kid was sitting up there taking it easy. He's a nervous wreck.
Yeah. Top 2 guys in points earlier, Crawford and Porter, now separated by Crawford's spin. So the 6th place point man, Cope, is at the head of the field. Porter right behind him. You talk about consistency and why the man is 2nd in points. He has failed to complete only 7 of all the laps that have been run this year.
That's very impressive.
And on short tracks, that's real tough sometimes, too. As one car spins, the 59 of Bobby Russ Wood has a couple of others, 3 others collected as well. And everybody now finally sorts themselves out through that twisting portion of the infield here at Heartland Park. There's Bobby Russ Wood from the NASCAR Slim Jim Pro Series. Back to the front. That's the battle for the lead. Ron Young, the 4, running in the 3rd spot. Bill Baird, the 62, running right behind. Bob Lyon also in the picture. And let's go back and see exactly what happened there. 59 and 33, Bobby Russ Wood and Conrad Burr.
It's not over yet here.
Yeah, that's just the setup. And the finish.
And the finish.
And up goes the caution. They only can, on road courses, if you're not familiar, you can have a caution in one particular corner and not on the entire course. They were running for 14th and 15th, those two were at the time. Here's back to the battle for the lead now. Nice smooth run for Cope and Porter.
He stretched it out a little bit.
There's third, Ron Young. Here comes fourth place now. 62, Bill Baird. And here comes old Rick Crawford after the spin, scrambling back.
He's trying to get back what he lost at least. And let's see if he can do it. He's got to be smooth.
Got a handful of laps yet inside of Baird. Onto the drag strip.
One down, one to go, I think. Yep. There's one.
Yep. Got him right there. So up to fourth goes Crawford. He's done himself proud today.
Yes.
He's run the occasional race on the West Coast. We talked about how this is the first time that all three series have come together. Crawford is one of those who has gone to Phoenix from his home in Alabama. He has gone to Tucson, Arizona, again from his home in the Deep South. So this is not necessarily unique for him. Here's sixth place now.
Little
rootin' and gouging right there.
Rootin' and gouging time.
64, Bob Lyon. 96, Dan Matthews. You've got Alsop right behind. That would be Nipper Alsop in the 74. His brother AJ drives a 73. Sixth, seventh, and eighth position. That seems to be the toughest spot on the course again for these fellas. Out of turn 10 where you go real slowly and then quickly through the gears onto this drag strip.
Off the concrete, onto the asphalt.
Yep.
Big temperature change in the surface right there.
That's something folks don't think about. There's Nipper Alsop.
Nipping away.
Yeah, used to run at Thompson Speedway in Connecticut. Ran their Pro Stock Series and the Winston Racing Series of NASCAR. Used to be a motorcycle racer. Went to the Jim Russell School, he was telling me, up in Quebec, Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Got some road racing experience there, but still can't quite get around the 96 of Dan Matthews. Again, that 6th, 7th, 8th position we're looking at now. Two laps to go as the field comes towards the stripe. We continue to watch 6th, 7th, and 8th up front. No change in the running order. In the wide open spaces of Kansas, we are in Heartland Park, Topeka.
No matter who wins, all these guys are going to be very proud. They've stayed on the track. They put on a heck of a show for just a great facility.
Hey, you know, we can be very honest, too, as we look up front now. A scramble for the lead. Toby Porter's got it away from Mike Cope with a lap and a half to go. Glenn Jarrett and an eyeball on it all the way, too. Here comes Cope now, trying to work himself around Porter and can't get there. Ron Young is in the 4. He tries the inside. They are coming to the white flag next time by. Young will grab second from Cope. Here comes Crawford in the 14. This is good.
This is big.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett quickly.
Well, guys, as Toby Porter took the lead from Mike Cope as they entered into turn 1, Cope's car just really slowed down dramatically. He's got an engine problem. The car has developed a miss. It just happened as they crossed the start-finish line. I saw the crew shake their heads in disbelief, throw up their hands, but that's what's wrong with him right now. Definitely has an engine problem. I can hear it as he goes by. Rick Crawford will make the pass to take another position from him.
And now with the 5th different leader of the day, Toby Porter's is going to hang on for 1.8 miles, and it's his. Ron Young in second spot. Young is that guy we told you about earlier who's led only 4 laps all year and has 2 wins. Guy's always around the front. Crawford around Cope. He's in third now. Oh, Crawford driving the wheels off of that number 14. There it is, first, second, third, and fourth. Last lap in the Coca-Cola Shootout.
Coach, he's got to be heartbroken.
Oh, man. The pit, after that great stop earlier, he'll be hearing from the winner after the race, but you got to feel for Cope. Here they come now through turn 10. Checkered flag is in the hands of the flagman Rick Monroe. And here comes Toby Porter to the stripe. And he will pick up his third win of 1996. Hand is out the window. His 7th career victory. And that will tie him now for 5th place in all-time wins on the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series with Jeff Purvis and Freddie Query. A super run. And now coming off turn number 10. Others aren't quite finished yet as Dan Matthews about impacts the wall, but it's that man. He was greased lightning when it counted down the stretch.
Yes, he was. He was patient all day. You know, hats off to him. Cope would have been hard to beat.
He really would have been hard to beat, but hey, at the risk of sounding cliche-like, that's racing.
That's racing.
That is racing. Toby Porter from Greenville, South Carolina, heading to Victory Lane. Glenn will be there with him, as we will also. So stick around. Lots more coming up from the heartland of America. We'll be right back. We are back live at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. Victory Lane is at the base of that big old drag strip tower, and all the ceremonies are about to unfold here. Quick reminder, folks, that if you're looking for a great place to go, Opryland USA is the official destination of NASCAR. For more information on Opryland, call 615-889-6611. Call them Monday through Friday. They're open all the time, though, and it is a wonderful place to visit, the official destination of NASCAR. Well, everybody has walked to Victory Lane, except one guy was in a golf cart. Glenn Jarrett, who was that?
Who plays golf on this crew the most? Me. Man, we were a quarter of a mile. Toby Porter is getting congratulations now from Ron Young, who finished second. Rick Crawford, the third-place finisher. Toby, you told me before the race, first of all, congratulations. You told me before the race you're just going to try to take it easy and try to get a good finish. That's a pretty good finish.
Yeah, it was. We got out there, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. It's something different, and we all got to race, and got to racing pretty hard, and just brakes went my way today, and I want to thank Grease Lightning for sponsoring me. They used to be sponsoring me last year, and this is the first time this year, so I want to thank him and Automotive Specialty Racing Engines.
Well, now, for you folks that don't know, Toby Porter gets his racing blood honestly. His father, Greg Porter, used to run at Greenville Pickens Speedway in South Carolina, also at some of the other tracks throughout the South. It's nice to see, Toby, that in this race out here that was in conjunction with the Southwest Tour, also with the Northwest Tour, when it all came down, when it was all said and done, the All Pro guys are the ones that led the way.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that kind of makes us look good there, don't it? But I was glad. Me and Ricky there, we've been, well, he goes to Phoenix all the time and runs with them, and I've been out there 1 or 2 times. So it was pretty fun. I mean, I enjoyed racing with them.
Well, congratulations again. Let's get a word now. Ron Young, who finished second, is talking to the track PA. Let's go over and talk to Rick Crawford, who came home third. And, boy, you ran strong all day in the top 3, but what happened when you spun the car around?
Man, I went from Michael Schumacher to Willie Shoemaker. I went over. I guess in racing terms, you know, you look at it like I was just cooling my tires off a little bit, trying to get a run at them. But there at the end, you caused your own caution, so you run out of laps at the end. So but I'd like to thank Tom Mitchell, Circle Bar Motel and RV Park, for sending us to an excellent driving school there at Road Atlanta. Those guys taught me a lot last week in 3 days. So this is the first time I've ever been to a road course. So I really enjoyed running with Kenny, but he was just playing with us. Congratulations to Toby. And like I say, thank God for a safe race today. And you know, I'd like to say hello to my little boy, Adam. They made the playoffs this weekend in Mobile in baseball, so good luck, guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Rick. A very gracious third-place finisher there. Ron Young, who finished second, is coming over to join us now in Victory Lane. And, Ron, you also told me before the race you weren't really sure. In fact, yesterday you're like, man, I'm kind of lost around this place, but you made a good accounting for yourself.
Yeah, I tell you, we had trouble right off the bat. All the leaders came in. We late to the pit, and I don't know what happened there. Crew told me to go on out. We was going to have to come back in next time, and I knew then that it was going to be tough because, you know, at the drivers' meeting they told us that no double file restarts like they do on the short tracks, and when you're starting behind 30-something cars and you're the last one, it's a long day trying to get around them race cars. But I tell you, I'd like to thank Coca-Cola for putting this race on, and Slim Jim, NASCAR, and all these guys. Without these contingency sponsors, I tell you, this series wouldn't be where it's at today. And I'd like to say thanks to Wagner Automotive, Rogers Classic Collision, Southern Impressions, all the guys back home that make this race car possible every weekend to race it. And I'd like to say hey to Melanie, my girlfriend. Wish you could have been here. Missed you.
Well, now, hey, guys, how many folks out there, how many of you think that you could have driven 60 laps like that? And remember to say all the things that Ron Young said. Congratulations to all these young guys. They made a tremendous accounting for themselves, put on a whale of a show for us. I tell you what, some real happy people down here in Victory Lane, and rightfully so. They earned the respect of all their competitors and gave us a great show on TNN.
They did that. It was a super afternoon. And Barry Dodson, I know you've got to get back to the garage area because the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is about to get back to work, getting set for tomorrow's Lund Look 225. What's the story on Mike Bliss's truck? You guys going to be able to keep up with Hornaday, the pole sitter?
Well, you know, Ron's an excellent road racer. We're really happy. We brought a brand new truck. We qualified fourth. We got about 20 laps on it. No problem so far. Mike gets better and better and better every week. It's an important show for us. You know, all the beefs out here. You got Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Burton, Kenny Schrader, Wally Dallenbach, Johnny Benson, Davy Jones, straight from Indy. So it should be a heck of a show. So I'm going to head on back, pump up my Goodyear Eagles, and get ready for happy hour.
Take care. Good to see you, Barry.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoyed it. Barry Dodson joining us here in the booth this afternoon. When we come back, we've got a full rundown, all the numbers for you, a lot more. And, of course, coming up, we've got Inside NASCAR, plus the NASCAR Busch Series, all yet to come.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Coca-Cola Shootout on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by tangy Heinz 57 steak sauce. Let's eat.
We are live with you here at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. A reminder that commercial transportation for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder, the official transportation company for Opryland. With Barry Dodson and Glenn Jarrett, I'm Eli Gold. Average speed for the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series, 93.571 miles an hour. And Toby Porter, well, you don't get style points. You don't get extra lap points in this division. All you got to be there is at the finish. He led once for just 2 laps, but that's all she took. It was Mike Culp who led 33 of the 60 laps today, but he ends up with a faltering engine down the stretch. 7 lead changes among 5 different drivers. There were 3 caution periods for 11 laps today, but a very safe race for the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series, the Featherlight Southwest Tour, and the Rebco Northwest Tour. And there you see the unofficial finishing order. You had the first ASA representative, Bill Baird, coming home in 5th spot from the coast. You had Bob Lyon there in 6th. A good run for Grandma's Frozen Noodles. Dirk Piz came home in 7th. There's Nipper Alsup there, finishing ahead of Ken Bailey, who was the best qualified runner for the NASCAR Rebco Northwest Series. Kenny Schrader was the pole sitter by a significant margin, ran off course early in the event, put himself into the retaining wall, and he comes home, as you see, in 20th position. Other top finishers here today, including the top rookie contender, Steve Christian, coming in. John Pox had a myriad of problems, transmission-related early in the day. He comes home in 23rd. There you have some of the other top finishers. Ruhlman from the Trans Am Series coming home in 25th position of all those who took the green flag here at Heartland Park, Topeka today. Of course, we'll be here again tomorrow. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series going road racing for the first time this year. They'll also be at Sears Point and Watkins Glen later in the season as part of the 3 road circuits on the truck race in 1996. And don't forget, as soon as we move aside here near the top of the hour, Inside NASCAR will be along. Then we got Mike Joy along with Buddy Baker and Randy Pemberton standing by at South Boston Speedway in Virginia. They've got the NASCAR Busch Series, the Winston Motorsports 300. Then we are back out here live tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time as Rich Bickle and Brian Reffner join us on Race Talk. And then tomorrow, next stop for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Lund Look 225 here at Heartland Park. 77 laps tomorrow. That'll be 17 laps longer than our race here this afternoon, and that's going to be an enjoyable afternoon. It was not the most enjoyable afternoons for Mike Culp. He led 33 laps, but at day's end, he lumbered home in 4th spot. Let's get his thoughts in the garage area, Glenn.
Well, Eli, and he just ran through the garage area to meet with us. He was running faster then than the number 57 Chevrolet was at the end. Boy, I heard it when you went by on the next to the last lap there, Mike. What an awesome car you had, but it just went away.
Yeah, we had a pretty good car. We had really good horsepower all day, and it was either an ignition box or a valve spring. Just, you know, it's really hard in these motors on the road course, but my hat's off to the Penrose boys. Those guys worked since we got here to try and get a shifter problem fixed. We didn't get any practice hardly at all, and our practice was qualifying. We qualified 7th and then ran as good as we did. I'm not going to complain. I need to get some luck. If I get some luck, we'll have the Penrose car in victory lane, but until then, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, you're talking about the crew and the work that they did. One thing that we pointed out during the telecast was when you made that pit stop, man, they got you in and out of there better than anybody else on pit road, put you in the lead and made everybody else have to shoot at you.
That made me feel really good, and I told them guys they'd done a heck of a job. When they beat Schrader out and his Busch guys, you know, they do the Busch deal and the truck deal, and we had a very, very good stop, and I'm very proud of them. Just come up a little bit short again. My Terry Labonte road course school, him and Bobby and Bob, I can't thank them enough. I mean, that's what made that car go like it was. If Terry was in it, I think it would have won the race on 7 cylinders.
Well, he's talking about that shows how quickly this young man learns. And I know that from talking with you, I've known you for several years now, that you got bigger, brighter things in the back of your mind. You're wanting to move on sometime soon.
The back of my mind? No, they're in the front of my mind. I really want to, and I think that, you know, as I told you earlier, I've got, you know, something to offer somebody, if, you know, but it's just a matter of timing. Timing's everything, and we'll make it work. If I got to do it on my own, that's how we're going to do it. We've, you know, come from the street stocks to here, so we can go further if we try hard.
Well, keep your eye on this young man, folks. You'll hear from him again either in the Busch Series or the Truck Series at some point in time.
He's a good one. Won his first tour event for this division back in 1993. Some of the fans are leaving. Others are hanging around to watch the trucks. We've got more coming up from Heartland Park right after this. Some of the top finishing machines now being pushed back to the garage area here at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. As this racetrack is laid out very interestingly. You've got, of course, a predominance of areas out behind where we are sitting, which is the staging area for the NHRA Winston drag racing teams, and all of the NASCAR teams here this weekend using a garage area out towards the middle and upper portion of the course, and that's where those cars are being pushed to right now. As far as the point standings for the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series, you see it has swapped around now. Crawford had the 5-point bulge on Toby Porter going in. Toby now with the win takes over the top spot as Crawford finishes 3rd. Ron Young, Mike Cope moves up from 6th to 4th now, and Steve Christian showing the 5th spot, only 205 points out of the lead. We've got more coming up from Glenn in the garage area as we look across the street at Forbes Field here in Topeka, Kansas.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Coca-Cola Shootout on TNN has been brought to you by Pep Boys. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service, too. Everything but gas.
Well, it's been a great afternoon of racing here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. More of the same tomorrow. Ron Hornaday and Jay Sauter on the front row for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. Glenn Jarrett, I believe, is with Jay Sauter in the garage.
You're right, Eli, I am. And, Jay, you've had some experience on this racetrack, and it certainly looks like it paid off in qualifying at least.
Yeah, I tell you, I just love this Heartland Park Topeka Raceway. Real excited about coming here. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series has been superb, and I think our experience really helped here, and I think it's going to help us in the race tomorrow.
Track position all important on this road course.
Yeah, definitely. This is a real tough course to pass on, and we've got real good position. Of course, we got Skinner and Hornaday lined up on the inside of us, so it's going to be no easy start, but we're going to give it our best shot.
I want to make sure now that overnight that, of course, folks, Felix Sabatis owns this truck. You're not going to paint it black overnight.
No, that's not going to happen. We're set.
All right, I want to wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Great run. Looks like it's in store for Jay Sauter. We're going to have a super NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race for you tomorrow.
We will do that at 2 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow. The Lund Look 225 from here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. Coming up next, stay tuned for Inside NASCAR. That'll be following here in just about a moment or so. Then an hour from now, the NASCAR Busch Series will be on the air. The Winston Motorsports 300 from South Boston Speedway in Virginia. Mike Joy will be taking you through that one with Buddy Baker and Randy Pemberton. Then we are back here tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for Race Talk with Rich Bickle and Brian Refner as our special guests. And tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern Time for the Lund Look 225 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Our thanks to Barry Dodson. Our thanks to Glenn Jarrett. Tomorrow, Larry McReynolds joins our family here at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas. I'm Eli Gold. For all of us here at TNN Motorsports, thanks for joining us, and congratulations to Toby Porter. So long, everybody.